And welcome to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney, episode 134 of the Pioneer Sideline, coming at you right now, jam-packed full of highlights, analysis, all that coming at you right now. We're going to jump right into it. 2 games on tap for the Point Park Pioneers. It's the women's team we're going to talk first. They traveled to Wilberforce on Tuesday this past week, the 31st of January, looking to get yet another AMC victory, trying to stay perfect, that record in the AMC, and also continue on that long winning streak, looking to also extend that longest winning streak in the history of the program. And also, as we jump into it, you see Joncelyn Peterkin. She's looking to get started. Also, Emily Shartner was warming up as well. But right off the bat, we're going to see Tanadra Spivey kicking things off for Wilberforce. Wilberforce was up early. Point Park would answer their little spinneroonie jumper coming from April Austin right there. Point Park keeping it close, coming the other way. Look at the nice passing here coming from Wilberforce. Otto's going to dish it over to Deandra Hall, and Wilberforce now leads 13-10 after a timeout. Point Park's just going to take charge and put up a 17-2 run, starting off right there. I don't know how you let Kristen Beatty get wide open like that. They're going to see coming inside, right outside the paint in the key. There's Teresa Davis with a little bank shot for Point Park. And then that same spot we saw Emily Shartner warming up, drains the 3 in the game. Point Park up at the half, 39-25. As you see, the defense from Point Park always in their face. Maeve Gallagher finishing up there. Second half we go to April Austin, just going to do it all by herself, going from half court, just take it all the way in, just burned the defender there, no one there to help out. Some more Point Park on offense, little entry pass inside Joncelyn Peterkin. She's getting to her game now, 13 points in this one. Not to be outdone though, Kristen Beatty, she's going to try, just like April Austin, down the right side this time, 14 points for her. And then end of the game, Point Park looking to cap it off. Sarah Sandin with the big 3. That one ends. Point Park gets the victory, 83-58. That's now 12 straight wins for the Lady Pioneers of Point Park University, of course, with that number 25 ranking up there that they earned last week. And we're going to go ahead and bring in our analyst on the day here for the women's basketball team, your color commentator on all the live broadcasts, Matt Desmond, joining us in the studio. And Matt, big win for the Pioneers. Always, rough going to Wilberforce. It's a tough 4-hour drive. Not very fun for anyone. But, they're able to get the work done and pull off the victory.
Yeah, Tony Grenick, he really showed his team has a lot of depth in this game, and his organization has a lot more depth than he has in past years when they were under Sam Kazanovich. And you look at this Pioneer team right now, and you look at their line unit they have out there. It's kind of like a hockey system out there, but the Pioneers, they get the job done nonetheless, and they're just getting scoring from all these different players, and they're just combining as units, and they're just getting victories out there, Aaron.
And, of course, 12 straight wins now for Point Park after that win there. And going on to the week, they had a couple of days off until Saturday when they drove up to Houghton. Another decent drive, taking on the Houghton Highlanders for the second time on the season. Point Park easily handled them earlier on at home. This time they got to make the drive up to Houghton, New York. And we'll see how they fared in that one as we go to the highlights. Point Park taking on Houghton University. They were celebrating their pink day, just like Point Park did just a week ago. But Point Park was looking to get the best one more time. Austin inside with the miss. Peterkin with the big rebound. And we said Peterkin was getting to her game, evident right there, using those long arms to pull down the rebound. Then kick out to Emily Shartner. There's the deep 3. She had 11 points on the day. There's a nice handoff. Savitsky just driving right down the lane. 4 defenders just let her go right into the paint by herself. Savitsky finished up with a pretty nice day as well. And you see cherry picking there. Joncelyn Peterkin getting ahead of the whole defense. Good play there. And then April Austin, she can find Kristen Beatty better than Tom Brady in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl. And she finds the points there, Beatty behind the defense. Hudson trying to make it close, though, for Houghton. As you see, they trail at the half, 39-24. Good things there if you're a Pioneers fan. Here's April Austin, just blows right by the defender. And Megan Sampson, Austin with 13 points in the day. Then another nice pass inside. There's Kristen Beatty on the block to finish up. And one more time, Katricia Savitsky from the free throw line. Point Park just running away with this one. They had a 20-point lead, held on to that throughout the whole second half, finishing up with Joncelyn Peterkin from 9 feet. She had 14 points on the day, and another big game for her. Point Park now 18-4 overall, perfect in the conference, still at 9-0. Peterkin 14 points, Austin with 13 points. Point Park with that win clinches an AMC playoff berth. So Matt, just another thing to check off that list of accomplishments the Point Park set for themselves going into the season.
Yeah, definitely. You look at this Point Park team, and they're just climbing up the standings, and they're surprising teams one by one. They really haven't had an opponent that really has challenged them as much as they have been all season. They had the Damon Wildcats maybe throw a little threat out there, but now you really got to like what Joncelyn Peterkin's doing out there. She's really bringing this team up, and she's really sparking at the right time.
You mentioned Joncelyn Peterkin, and big news for Point Park is Peterkin. She was announced as last week's Player of the Week in the AMC. Very solid week, and Matt, it's really starting to pick up for her in the past couple games. You could just tell that her confidence building, and she's just getting into a rhythm now at the perfect time for Point Park, mind you.
Yeah, definitely. We've been seeing a selfish player out there sometimes during this game, but you've been seeing Joncelyn Peterkin. She's really just becoming more of a team player out there, and she's just going along with the team's flow in the system, and it's really working out for the Pioneers. You see that she's finding the open gap. April Austin sometimes just to be the floor general out there on the floor, but April Austin. She's really helping Joncelyn Peterkin through the struggle, and now it's propelling her to averaging 13.5 points per game in these last 2 games against Wilberforce and Houghton.
And that's Joncelyn Peterkin, Player of the Week. Big news for the Point Park Pioneers, and also moving up in the rankings, now ranked number 23 in the nation overall. So big bump up for them, Matt. The first time ever being ranked, and they're just doing work, moving their way up the chain there.
Yeah, definitely. You saw last week in the standings that you had 6 teams fall from the top 25. They all had losses, and the Pioneers are just going to keep winning some games, and that's just going to move their chances up in the top 25 standings. Now it's number 23 in the nation, and they have 5 games left in their schedule, but if they keep winning, they might get up to the top 15 in the NAIA.
Still a couple games left, and we'll talk about that just a little bit later on. Matt, we're going to let you go for a second. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Kevin Calhoun's going to join us. We're going to take a look and see what the men did on their road trip. They played the same games for them, so stick around and see how they fared.